Hi and welcome. I'm sitting here with Nick Mann. He's going to tell us a little bit about his involvement with STICKFIT. G'day Nick, how you going?
Very good, thanks for having me.
No worries. Can you start out by telling us a little bit about your personal fitness journey and how you got into fitness in the first place?
I've been training martial arts, strength training for about the last 20 years. Got into it when I was at 16, 17. So a bit of a ruffian on the street. This kind of thing kept me on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
Been training ever since.
So you mentioned that you heard about Andy's martial arts program.
That's right, yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you got involved with that and what it is exactly?
So I was into Filipino martial arts for a while, and I was looking to branch out and learn more, get more in-depth knowledge with the Filipino martial arts. I'd heard about Andy for quite a long time. He was a bit of a knockabout guy, as they say. I finally bit down on the bullet and hit Andy up. It was around 2021, I think, during lockdowns. Joined Andy on Zoom.
Yep.
And it was a real eye-opener. It was just the depth of knowledge into Filipino martial arts that I hadn't seen or have not seen since from anybody else.
All right, so your involvement with STICKFIT, you're obviously quite a fit guy yourself.
Thank you.
So I'm interested to know in terms of how you, what your personal experience is with STICKFIT and whether how you see the benefits for somebody who's already, quite fit. What can they get out of something like a STICKFIT program?
Well, I've never been a really big fan of the gym fit scene. I prefer a little more of the hardcore strength training and fight training kind of thing. But since I've seen STICKFIT and actually participated, and I can see that there's a lot of benefit, especially for beginners who want to maybe bridge the gap or who don't want to do traditional fitness training, like boxercise and that kind of thing. It'd be really tedious. But with the STICKFIT, it's quite challenging, but it's a good challenge, not just physically but cognitively as well. Like the first time you pick up sticks, it's very awkward. They say it's an extension of your body, but it doesn't feel that way for quite some time. But with STICKFIT, it's at a sort of catered level of intensity as well, and you can sort of slowly build up. You get the cognitive skills, the hand-eye coordination, because you're working with a partner, even without a partner, using your hands and feet in unison. And then there's things like broken rhythm or contralateral things like left leg, right hand. So you do get a good, solid workout in, and obviously one of the main benefits that I find with it is the cognitive loading that you get. You can actually feel, it's a strange feeling, you can actually feel your brain ticking over when you're trying to process so many things. And all right, so as I stated, I'm really into my strength training and more of the hardcore approach, like I like my fight training and that kind of thing. It's a lot more challenging on the brain. You can feel that carry over into your hand-eye coordination, even into daily activities. Like simple things like if you're in the kitchen, you've got to reach across your body to grab one thing and across to change another thing. So you can feel it carry over into day-to-day life, which you don't get from other fitness programs like Les Mills or whatever is out there.
So is this like a HIIT program, high intensity training?
No, which is one of the reasons why I prefer it, because I'm already doing other training and I track all of my steps. For example, like if I'm not walking, I've got to do the treadmill, which is really tedious, and I don't want to do HIIT training because it's pretty hard on the body. But STICKFIT, it's low impact, which I like, but it still keeps your heart rate up to a level that you're still working enough to be like burning calories and getting that extra movement in. And things like injuries that can prevent some people from doing a boxing class, you won't get any of that with STICKFIT, but you'll still get a good workout, as well as the coordination that'll carry over into day-to-day life.
Who would you say STICKFIT is targeted to?
Everyone, Gen Pop.
Yeah.
Like myself, I do a lot of other martial arts training, but I'd still use this as bridging the gap between.
Do you think I'd probably need to be pretty fit to start?
No, absolutely not. I think there's a big misconception about things like that where people say, I'll get started once I get fit. But you get fit by doing it. You don't get fit to do it.
Yeah. Cool.
Right? And it's catered to all levels. Of course, you've got the beginner, the intermediate, and the advanced. If you want to go harder, you can go harder. Just up the pace. You've got the metronome training. Beginner's guide is still good because you still get a lot of steps in, which is like basic entry level, as well as using your hands and eye coordination, cognitive loading, all that sort of thing.
Do you feel, as a fairly fit guy yourself, that there's enough challenge for people that are already at a certain level of fitness to keep them challenged? And
Yeah, a big thing these days with the more experienced gym goers is things like step tracking, because that just equates to total daily energy expenditure. StickFit's a really good way to bridge the gap with, as I said, it's low impact and it's not going to take away from your other training, but it's enough that you're still going to be burning those extra calories, getting your steps in, learning a skill as well. And like I keep saying, it's not the same as going to a boxing class where there's so much impact on the joints will actually affect all your other training. Whereas I think things like StickFit will actually enhance your other training because you're getting the steps, the movement, the energy expenditure, as well as the coordination and the cognitive training as well. Like I've heard some students say that they do some exercises before they'll do a class, like first thing in the morning, which is less like reaching across the body and that kind of thing. But it's the same thing we do in StickFit. Right? It gets your brain going. So it's excellent to do first thing in the morning. It just sets your brain up for the rest of the day, like a neural warm-up, right?
Right, cool. Thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me.